Hi there. We are continuing a story about Jesus at a wedding. And if you remember, the way we left it at the end of yesterday was that the party had been going on for a while, and Jesus' mother, who was also there, pulled him aside and said, "Hey, come here, got to talk to you." This is what she said to him. And again, here's a picture to keep in your mind about it. During the party, Jesus' mother noticed there was no more wine. "Jesus," Mary said, "the wine is gone and the party isn't over." Your parents ever say something like, "Hey, I noticed something here," and you're supposed to figure out what they're telling you, if they're telling you to do something or if they're asking if you did something? She's asking him to fill in the blanks. Hey, they don't have any more wine. Jesus figured it out pretty quickly. He said, "Mother, it's not time yet." Well, she figured it was. I don't know if you have parents that sometimes say, "Oh, yes, it is." You say no, and they say, "Oh, yes." And, Jesus did what a good kid does. She sort of said, "You're going to do this for me, all right?" And she called the servants over, the people that were handling the food for the wedding. And she said to them, "Hey, come here a minute. Listen to Jesus and do as he asks. He's going to tell you something that you need to do." She didn't say anything. She just left it in his hands. Well, at that point, Jesus, he sort of had to do what he had to do. He walked over to these 6 huge jars of water that they had there. Big jars of water. They held gallons and gallons and gallons of water. Almost 30 gallons of water in each one. The gas tank in your car probably has around 15 gallons. So it's like twice as long, twice as big as the gas tank of a car. Well, Jesus turned to the servants and he said to them, "Fill these jars up to the top with water." And they did what they were told. And then Jesus said, "Now, fill the cup from this jar and give it to the servant who's in charge and ask him to drink." And so they did. Here's what happened. Here's a picture of it. Now notice something. What color is the liquid in those jars? And what color is the liquid in the cup? It looks kind of purple to me, or dark red. What color is water? Water is what? Clear? Some places it's blue like my shirt, but when we drink it, it's clear. Something had happened. And here's the miracle, because we talked about it a couple days ago, that a miracle was going to happen. When they took a cup over to the man who handed out the food and the drink, they dipped a cup in the water until it was full and then took it to him, and he drank it. Now, when the servant in charge took a drink from the cup, he was very surprised. He said to them, in fact, he said directly to the groom, he said, "This wine is the best that I've ever tasted." They put water into the jars and wine came out. The servants who had filled the jars, they were amazed because they knew they put water in it. And all of a sudden, the groom was surprised too. They had run out. He knew they had run out. He was probably embarrassed that they had run out. But now they had 6 large jars, around 180 gallons of really good wine. And the servant said to the groom, "Listen, at most weddings, you serve the best food and the best drink first. And later on, when you're getting down to the end, you just give everybody what's left. But you've saved the best for the last. Well, the other servants and the 12 disciples realized Jesus had done a miracle. He had changed water into wine. And they were amazed that Jesus had done this. They were all very surprised. But he wanted to make sure that his friend wasn't embarrassed by running out. And he wanted to make sure that everything went well. Because here's a secret. Well, it's not so much of a secret. It's an observation. In the Bible and in his stories that Jesus told and the ones that the disciples remembered, there are a lot of stories that he told about weddings and about feasts and parties. Jesus seems to have enjoyed them a lot. And he compared God's kingdom, life with God, to being like a party. And he wants it to be the best it possibly can, because life with God is a wonderful thing. And it doesn't have to wait until we get to heaven. It starts right here and right now when we know God. We come to appreciate the simple things like water, and they can seem as special as something else. I mean, think about what life would be without water. When you have that kind of thankfulness in your heart, little things come to mean an awful lot. Little things sometimes like a good night's rest, which is what I hope you're about to get. And we'll have another story tomorrow. And I'll see you then. So long.